In a world where superpowers dominate the narrative, a surprising contender has emerged: the Philippines. While many might envision the United States or Japan as China's primary concerns, the reality is that this small archipelago is becoming a pivotal player in the balance of power within Asia. Nestled strategically along the South China Sea, the Philippines represents more than just its geographical location. It is evolving as a powerful voice in an increasingly tumultuous geopolitical landscape. The South China Sea is often likened to a heart, pumping the lifeblood of trade and resources essential for survival. With trillions of dollars worth of goods traversing its waters, along with untapped reserves of oil and gas hidden beneath its surface, control over this area signifies immense power. For China, whose ambitions are grand and unyielding, the Philippines poses a significant challenge, harboring the potential to disrupt their hegemonic aspirations. This archipelago, while small in military power, wields the critical advantage of location and connectivity to vital sea lanes that are crucial for both regional and international economies. The pivotal moment in this conflict came in 2016, when the Philippines, standing firmly on principles of international law, effectively challenged China's sweeping territorial claims. Taking the matter to the International Court of Justice, the Philippines not only presented its case, but also triumphed. The ruling from The Hague was clear and unequivocal. China's expansive assertions were without legal foundation. The ramifications of this verdict rippled throughout the region, sending a clear message to other nations that standing up against a powerful neighbor, through diplomatic and legal means, is indeed possible. This victory was more than just a legal win. It ignited hope and resilience among other nations in Asia. The Philippines' determination to defend its rights and sovereignty against a seemingly overwhelming force transformed the narrative of power in the region. It offered an example to other smaller nations, encouraging them to assert their own rights and assert their sovereignty with courage and confidence, reminding the world that even the mightiest can be challenged. But China's fear runs deeper than just legal defeat. It fears what the Philippines is turning into: a regional force for unity. The Philippines is strengthening its ties with the U.S., for Japan, Australia, and even India through defense agreements that could quickly turn the region into a united front. And for China, that's a nightmare. Because one thing China dreads most is encirclement, being surrounded by countries allied with the West that can restrict its expansion. Every new military base the Philippines opens to the U.S., for every joint patrol it conducts in the South China Sea, tightens that circle around China's ambitions. But it's not just about geography or military alliances. China also fears the spirit of the Filipino people, their resilience, adaptability, and unity in times of crisis. The Philippines has endured colonization, wars, disasters, and yet it keeps rising. For China, which relies on control and stability, that kind of unpredictable, unbreakable spirit is something they can't easily suppress or predict. Add to that the Philippines' booming economy, young population, and growing technological sector, and you start to see why China is paying attention. The Philippines is slowly becoming a key player in the global economy, a bridge between East and West, and a symbol of democracy in a region where many fear speaking out against Beijing. Even in cultural power, the Philippines is winning hearts globally. Its people are everywhere, from entertainment to technology, making an impact that's quietly reshaping perceptions of Asian influence. While China's power is rooted in infrastructure, politics, and military control, the Philippines' power is rooted in people, and people-driven influence lasts longer than any empire. Another thing China fears is how the Philippines is reclaiming its identity. The new generation of Filipinos is not just looking inward, but outward, demanding accountability from their leaders, pushing for stronger defense policies, and realizing their strategic importance. Every move the Philippines makes on the international stage now carries more weight. When the Philippines opens its ports to allied forces or calls out Chinese aggression in the West Philippine Sea, the world listens. That growing confidence makes China uneasy because it threatens the narrative that Beijing should be the sole power in the region. Even within China, analysts have warned their leaders about underestimating the Philippines. Why? Because small nations with strong principles often ignite bigger changes than powerful ones ruled by fear. China knows this from history. Revolutions often start in the most unexpected places. And the Philippines, with its history of fighting for freedom against impossible odds, embodies that same energy. The Philippines' control of key sea routes also terrifies Chinese military planners. In a conflict, access to the South China Sea could decide the outcome. And the Philippines, with its scattered islands and strong alliances, could block China's supply routes almost entirely. It's the ultimate checkmate move in the game of Pacific dominance. But here's where it gets even more interesting. China doesn't just fear the Philippines militarily or politically. It fears what the Philippines represents: hope, freedom, and defiance. The idea that a small nation can stand tall and say no to a giant. The Philippines shows that power isn't just about size, it's about principle, strategy, and courage. Every Filipino fisherman who sails into contested waters, every diplomat who speaks up for sovereignty, every citizen who stands firm for national pride, they all remind China of something it can't control: the human will. And that's what truly scares them. China can build ships, islands, and missiles, but it can't build the kind of unity that comes from a people who refuse to be bullied. The Philippines has become a voice for smaller nations in Southeast Asia who are also facing pressure from Beijing. It's becoming a rallying point, showing others that cooperation, not fear, is the key to standing strong. Even as China tries to intimidate its neighbors through military drills and Coast Guard tactics, it knows that every act of aggression only pushes more countries closer to the Philippines' side. And that's exactly what China doesn't want: a united Southeast Asia backed by global powers. You see, China's greatest fear isn't war, it's isolation. The day the Philippines becomes the center of a regional alliance system, Beijing's power projection will crumble, and that day is getting closer. Behind the scenes, the Philippines is investing in its own modernization, from new defense systems to renewable energy to digital industries that could make it a tech hub in Asia. The country is no longer just reacting, it's preparing, it's shaping the future. So when we talk about what China fears most about the Philippines, it's not just one thing, it's everything the Philippines stands for. A small nation with a big heart, a proud people with unshakable faith, and a country that refuses to bow down to anyone. The Philippines has become a symbol of resilience and independence, a reminder that even in a world dominated by giants, the courage of one nation can make all the difference. And maybe that's why China watches the Philippines so closely, not just as a neighbor, but as a potential rival that embodies everything it secretly wishes to control, but never can. The story of the Philippines isn't just about geopolitics, it's about power, pride, and the unstoppable rise of a nation that refuses to be silenced. In the years ahead, as the global order continues to shift, the Philippines will stand at the crossroads of history, influencing the future of Asia in ways that few could have imagined. And as long as its people stay united, China will always have a reason to be afraid. Because true power doesn't come from fear, it comes from freedom. And that's something the Philippines has in abundance. So the next time you see the headlines about the South China Sea, remember, this isn't just a territorial dispute. It's a story of a nation proving that courage and principle can shake even the mightiest of powers. And that is what China fears most about the Philippines. If you believe the world should hear more untold stories like this, hit like, share this video, and subscribe for more powerful truths about nations that refuse to back down.